Yada. You ain't know? Listen. If you hear any noise or voices in the background, if you can and have the willpower, disregard it. Alright. Check this out. This specific video, you know, raw and uncut. No, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Well, anywho, I like to, just make certain y'all know it's me. Just yeah. So this specific video, I would like to make regarding the new Earth, the ascension. Okay, real quick. Okay, and I would like to basically bring up, you know, um, shout out to certain, channels that did bring to my attention about certain things that has came to their attention in a sense. Okay, from their, understanding. Okay, all right. What is going on? Okay, now there was a specific channel that also talked about the biblical times. Basically, sinners' times are up. You feel me? Saying that the Bible is coming to an end for those specific, certain individuals, not all of us. They would like to make us a part of that. Okay, so here's a little thing. Okay, I would like to let y'all know the word, what sinner means, or what sin means. Okay, first and foremost, and then I would like to touch on the 5D. And what's all this talk about the 5D? And those that don't know, it just go over their head. It just might quite be unfortunate. Okay, if they are not in tune with what's going on. All right, and then I would like to top it with prayer. Okay, a certain prayer, because me, you feel me, I know prayer. I know spells. Okay, all right, okay. So, all right, here's the thing. Okay, you got to know where sin came from. Okay, the word sin. Okay, when I think it was, you feel me, if you go to the Aramaic days, or the like, where the originators, you feel me, it was basically back in the days when they were, basically when they were kind of like, basically kind of came from like when they were doing the bow and arrows. Okay, and when they had the bow and arrows and it did not strike the center of the bow and arrow, if it didn't strike the center of the target, and and it was kind of off, they said sin. That's what they said, sin. Okay, that's what, you feel me. So sin basically just means you're out of alignment with yourself. Okay, so it means get back into alignment. Okay, that means you acting out of character, you acting out of pocket. You feel me? When you doing all kind of things to try to escape reality and not wanting to deal with reality. Okay, and like all those that are, do a lot of pill popping, with with doctor prescription drugs. Okay, that's still, you're out of alignment basically. Okay, that's still a drug. Okay, I'm just saying, like, yeah. So you that's, yeah, you gotta get off that dodie dope. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so here's another thing. Okay, basically we're these are the times where those that are out of you getting what you put out. Basically anything that if you putting out good, you getting back good. Okay, there are some of those that really have been putting out a lot of not so wise, how can I say, not so good seeds. Okay, they have sowed a lot of weeds, so now they're reaping those weeds. Okay, their garden, their harvest, they kind of like sabotaged it, they demolished it in a sense. Basically they had to pluck their own weeds. Okay, so here's another thing. Okay, for those that would like to get in the 5D, the fifth dimension. Okay, we've been talking about 5 dimension, 3D, 5D. Okay, the fifth dimension is a, shout out to one of the channels that brought this to my attention, because it is, they were basically on target in a sense, right? 5D is a state of awareness. In order to access and get into the 5D, y'all going to have to basically, you're going to have to go within. In order to get that new state of awareness, you're going to have to go within. Because if you don't go within, you go without. Okay? All right? So, you feel me? So you have to get centered. You got to get your emotions back in tune. You got to, you feel me? Know who's your thoughts, who's somebody else's thoughts, what's your emotion, what's somebody else's emotions. You feel me? Because if you're trying to take on, you feel me? When you taking on other people's emotions, you catching their karma. Okay? Okay? That's what, you feel me? That's like the crabs in a barrel. It's stuff like that, you know, when they try to say, oh, your debt is, you know, or their debt is your debt and type step. No, we ain't on that communism stuff like that. So, okay. The thing is, take back your emotions. Take back your power. Okay. Take back, you feel me? Know your thoughts. Okay. That's that part. Okay. So, like I said, in order to get into 5D, it is a state of awareness. Even though, you feel me, you see in the form, you go, you feel me, you tap back into your formlessness, you feel me, and you listen to your breath. Okay, just know your breath knows the way to the 5D. Okay, all right, just follow your breath thoroughly. I'm talking about listen to it, because then you'll hear what speaks loudly. You feel me? So, here's another thing, all right? Prayers, okay? Prayer works, all right? You don't have to slay and kill animals to get your prayers answered by the Most High. You don't. Okay? Those that try to do that, those are a lower state of consciousness. They have a lower degree of consciousness. Okay? You don't have to do that, okay? I know prayers, okay? You feel me? You feel me? Did you know that the words that y'all speak come back to y'all? You feel me? So the thing is, I've been laced up. I've been prayed up, okay? I'm saying, like, I'm so prayed up. It's just amazing. It's just magnificent how prayed up I am. Okay? You feel me? So everyone, it's time to step in the alignment of gratitude. Y'all gotta tap into 5D, okay? Cause if y'all still on a struggling and suffering timeline and stuff like that, okay, you gotta know what's going on with the energies. You gotta know what's going on with the planets and the alignment. You know, you gotta know what's going on, okay? Okay, here's a little thing, okay? Because I'm just saying, y'all, for y'all that be saying them little psalms, prayers, and stuff like that, y'all keep talking about weapons, them no weapons, prosper, and all that stuff like that. I really don't say those type of things. I really don't. Y'all kind of use that. And if y'all using, you feel me, the Bible as a weapon, and some of y'all are using you feel me, the court system, you feel me, the monetary system as weapons and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, look. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wouldn't be wise. Okay? Listen, I'm going to tell you, I just, because I like to, like, warn people before they, you know, because it, like, here's, you feel me, before they embarrass themselves. My thing is, if y'all would like some prayers or whatever, y'all would like some words for some prayers, how to make some real good prayers, just know, okay, when you wake up, okay, you close that prayer in your name because you're the one that prayed. Stop giving your power to things outside yourself. Okay, you'll because when you give up your power to things outside yourself, you'll continually be a slave to everything outside yourself. All right, I'm just letting y'all know. All right, so when I say my prayers, I close it in my name. Okay, and I talk to the Most High, or I could say the Holy Spirit. Okay, so you feel me? So you feel me? And it's all based on how your heart is, your real intentions with your heart. Okay. So here's another thing. Okay. I made you feel me? Any weapons formed against me shall not prevail in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay. Here's another thing. Okay. you can ask the Most High. Here's another thing, okay? You can ask the Most High, okay? You can have a request, okay? They keep talking about, oh, don't ask for anything. What you mean, don't ask? You ask, you shall receive. You feel me? You can be thankful for, you can thank. However, you be wise and ask, okay? Don't end up chasing everything when things can come to you. Okay, all you got to do is take the steps. Shout out to the Aries for they you feel me? They do, you feel me? Have a certain energy that I really like. Okay, all right. Just be wise with that head of yours. Here's the thing: you can ask the Most High to, you could pray for, you feel me, your, you feel me, abilities and gifts. Okay, here's a little thing. Here's what I would like to touch on right here, real quick. Y'all gotta know how time is. Okay, you got the south node. Okay, you got the north node. You got to know which one you're in. Okay, your north node is basically where your higher timeline is. It's basically where your longevity is. It's where you get, you feel me, where you feel me, you get like you're in a timeline of like longevity, life. Okay, when you're in like your south node, or you feel me, and the light, you're like, if you're spiraling, you got to know time is like stacked up on each other. Okay, and it's like a spiral. Okay, the thing is, y'all got to know which one you're headed in. Some are going down literally during their south node. So everything they had, everything they would like, is it's falling apart. It's like everybody's on the right path. Some are walking backwards. That's why things are falling apart. Okay, they're not on their north node. Okay, they haven't entered the 5D. Okay, some people think they know, they don't really know if they really own the path. Okay, so you got to know, getting in 5D is, it changes your self awareness. I mean, it's a state of awareness. Okay, y'all keep wanting to get all, just okay. So you got to know time is like layered on each other. Okay, either you're going into your bitterness, or you're going in the opposite direction. Okay, these, you got to know about emotions. Okay, so this being said, beautifuls, all right, time is, you feel me, you would like to be in your north node where everything's going good. Okay, that's where, you feel me, now this being, that's how time is. That's where, you feel me, you gotta, all yourselves wherever you are, every time, like when you blink your eye, you change to a version of you. You gotta know whether you're changing to the better version of you, or, you feel me, a bitter version of you. You feel me? Don't play yourself. Okay, don't let your ego play you. Okay, you got to be guided with your heart. That means you got to be authentic. Okay, all right. So I had to touch on, like, you got to know which timeline you're on. Okay. Now the thing is, you can ask the Most High. You can pray to the Most High for things in your higher timeline. Okay. You could pray for, supernatural abilities from your higher timeline. You could pray for all the abilities from your higher timeline. You feel me? You could pray for those. Okay. You feel me? So you could be on, you feel me? And you feel me? The thing is, you got to be open. You got to be open, because when you ask a prayer and you pray, you feel me? You got to be open, because in your higher timeline, you got to know it could come many forms, different ways. You feel me? You might find out you really good with electronics. You might find out you really good in nature. You might find out you good with certain insects, certain animals, good with certain elements. You got to be in tune to all that. You might be good at singing, a certain skill set. You feel me? You might be good at, you feel me, speed. You feel me? So you got to open yourself to where these are coming from in your higher timeline, because the higher version of you is basically higher version of you. You feel me? It's your higher timeline. That's a higher version of you. Okay. Basically, you feel me? At what do you think the higher version of you is? What do you feel really the higher version of you is when you allow your heart to really go there? Okay. So you feel me? So you got to enter in that. So you feel me? Now the thing is, I have a supernatural ability. Okay. And I have some. You feel me? And thing is, I've already did my prayers. That's kind of, you feel me. You feel me. Don't worry about me. You feel me. This is about, seeing if y'all could get on the right path. You feel me? Because I'm not, my supernatural abilities don't have any mercy. Okay. Now here's a little thing. Okay. One of my supernatural abilities. Okay. Here's the little thing. I'm gonna say it like this. Okay. You can pray, right? You could pray, right? And you can put it in a way that, one of your supernatural abilities is, anyone that would like to sabotage you, you know, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, is disarmed. Okay. Gets disarmed. Okay. Anything or anyone, anybody that, intends or would like to sabotage you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, they get disarmed. Unapologetically so. You know what I mean? You could pray for something like that. I'm just saying, you could pray for something like that. You know, and don't be shocked when some of the ones you thought was your friends and stuff. Things start happening to them. It's like, because people been talking about like bitches and people been calling people bitches, and I'm like, yo, if you even think about aiming that word toward me, I guess you just see karma in flesh, huh? I guess you just see karma in the flesh. Hey, So I'm just saying, you feel me? So just tap in, y'all. Let's talk about tap in. Stop moving so fast. It's not about going. You feel me? Like it's not about moving. Like it's it's about being, y'all. It's about being. It's not too much about doing. Y'all be want to do everything like, It's about being. You got to be in a state before you feel me. You do something. You feel me? You got to enter into a state of being, a certain state of being. You don't want to be bitter cooking. You feel me? You want to be happy. You want to be in love. You feel me? So the food is good to the ones you cook to. You feel me? Some people aren't on a good path. Okay, they have and some don't want to get better. Some really don't want to get better. Some don't want to take accountability. That's on them. The thing is, the energies are moving us to the people that are like us in our soul tribe. Okay, those that like being bitter, they're attracting more bitter people. They're attracting more bitter individuals. Okay, those that would like better and are doing better, they're attracting those type of people. They vibe. We don't get mad at each other. We all value each other's uniqueness. Oh, I see that person had that, and we know, that mutual respect. Oh, okay, this person had that uniqueness. All right, it's a celebration for us. Okay, so y'all just know where y'all is because, like, as Babylon is, you feel me? Well, as the old crumbles, you feel me? In order for the new to come, the old has to crumble. Okay, so some, you feel me? Some are just going to talk their way and just keep talking their way, and you feel me? They're going to just more of their truths, more of them going to show more. They're showing that they're in their shadow self and they're not healed. Some individuals are unhealed and don't want to get better and don't want to heal. So hey, cut them off and don't look back and don't regret it. You feel me? You'll be doing yourself a disfavor if you did. All right, I love y'all, and find something safe to do and stay accountable.